Hi, welcome to Ikaris Crossing. Okay, so we're going to do is explore a little bit more. Let's look at the differences of seasons of the witches. Okay, so we've got this one here. Now, we did Beltane. Let's do that one. Let's have a look-see here. Now, we know the books are all going to be very similar. I'm just putting this in here for the moment just to have a look at the imagery. Let's have a look at the colours that they use for each of the decks. Okay, so let's have a look at the colours. Let's have a look. I feel like I need to fix up this camera. I feel like someone has, when I've done it, let's see if I can fix this up a little bit. Feels like it's very so you can sort of see Samhain's quite dark, and then we've got these two lighter ones, and again the Mabon, but it might be just the apothecary. Yeah, there's some light. So interesting. Okay, so now that I've sort of pulled out all four decks, let's shuffle and see what message am I going to get from these four seasons. So let's put these to one side. So the first one we're going to do is the Samhain. Okay, with the Samhain deck, what message are we getting for today? Are we getting as a collective? Okay, so this card here. Okay, the card we get is Banshee. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. Oh, I think you need to be this is a warning of some sort. I think it's just being very aware of your surroundings, aware what's actually going on is going to be very important. Okay, from Yule, let's have a look. What message are we going to get today from the Yule as a collective? So we've got that sense of having to be careful, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what's going on around you. Yule log. Insert me with a bleeding thought, a sacred creation birthed from thy. I am God, I am goddess, I am creation from the Creator. So to be aware of what's going on around you, because you are sacred, you are a sense of, you know, it's important to take care of oneself. So let's have a look here. I can get a little bit more information from the books, of course. So let's just put those there. Okay, from the Beltane Oracle, what card are we going to reflect on today? And I think this one here jumped out, and it was Stone Circle. In ceremony you conjure a devotion so deeply it reflects thy worship into yourself. Again, I think it's about honouring oneself. So you get that sense of being very aware of what's going on around you. Protect yourself. It's very important to sort of take care of you, celebrate who you are, have that sense of honouring yourself in many ways. Okay, so let's have a look. What card are we going to reflect with Seasons of the Witch, with the Mabon Oracle? So what card are we going to get here? So let's have a look. We get Harvest Witch. What sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be? So what sacrifice have you made? Interesting. So let's have a look at the book. Let's have a look and see what Banshee has to say. This is really interesting to look at here. So, Banshee is number 5. I think, yep, 5. So let's have a look. 5. Oh, here it is. Banshee. Keywords are bad omens and wrath. Heed of warning. As I said, a banshee is a fairy woman from Irish folklore, heralds the death of a family member by wailing, shrieking, or keening. Some believe banshees are the spirits of young women who have been brutally murdered. These spirits become banshees so they can warn other women when faced with a similar threat. It's more common to hear that a banshee is a woman who is intensely grieving the passing of a loved one and that she has become internally lost in sadness. Nevertheless, a banshee's cry is a bad omen and one should take caution when she appears. So it is just about being aware of what's going on. Be careful, it could be symbolic that you're facing an ending. It's not a physical death, but it could be a symbolic one. However, this is not easy and you'll still mourn the loss. So you could be going through some transformation, some changes, some having to leave some stuff behind. So you need to be aware of that as well. It's interesting. The ending is long overdue and the powers that be can no longer wait for you to let go. The choice to end your situation may be forced to make the changes, forced to end. So be aware of what's going on around you because you may be forced to end something. Could be a job, a relationship that drains you, somewhere that's not safe. It's time to let go. It's important to remember every ending also brings a new beginning. Moving on makes space for new energy to come into our lives. Don't get caught up in the morning. So this could be very much about, so we're talking about the banshee's cry. So we're talking about that sense of a warning, a sense of things ending. Maybe you're forced to end something. Maybe it's not safe for you to be where you are right now. So it's really important that you are able to move forward, move away from that situation, let it go. Time to move forward from that situation that you're in. It's very toxic. It's not good for you. Okay, so let's have a look at the Yule Oracle as we look at the Yule log. It's quite neat to dive into these decks. I think this is something I need to do a little bit more of. I see a lot of you out there using these decks and loving them and just enjoying the different combinations with different decks, and it's really cool to see. So I really need to sort of start, but I've been waiting for at least 4 of these decks to come out so that I can do a sort of an equinox type spread, a medicine wheel type spread. Okay, so Yule log. Normally I'd put it in the 4 directions, but at the moment I'm just laying them out. Okay, so Yule, we're looking at 44. Okay, so Yule logs are burnt for 12 days and represent the rising sun and the birth of a new sun god. Yule logs are decorated with all kinds of Christmas cheer, and when it's lit, each member of your household gets to take a turn, tossing in anything you'd like to release. Again, it's about releasing and letting go. You've got that same message coming through. Very important too, as we've got that warning, we've got that message coming through to say, hey, look, you're going to be forced to make things, to clear things out for the old so the new can come in. Things need to end so that you make way for new stuff to happen. So it does talk about clearing away with rebirth, birth, death and rebirth. When we clear out the old, we make space for all the beauty left to come. Creation is a harmonic blend of both destruction and building. Some things must be cleared and destroyed so that you can make room to welcome in something new. Channel the energy of the goddess by healing and letting go of anything holding you back. Then channel the power of the god by, and I think that can be with that sense of if things are not good for you, so you've got that warning. Now it's time to have that healing and letting go of anything that holding you back. Then channel the power of the god by invoking action, courage and determination. Both energies, male and female, are required to be successful in your dreams, goals and manifestation. Your log reminds you that what you wish for will take more than one approach. So I think it's very much about bringing in that energy within oneself. So you've got that balance, both that yin and yang energy, which I think is so important. There's more than one approach. What an interesting combination of cards these two are. So this is really interesting. So you've got both of these about change, transformation, about being, I think you're a little bit more forced. Things are toxic for you, so it's time, now it's really time to make those changes that are really important for you. It's time to bring in new light. Next card we have a stone circle. Okay, so 39, which to me is about that ritualistic aspect of it as well. Again, I keep getting that word ritual. So let's have a look and see what this is about. Number 39 with the Beltane Oracle. So let's have a look. What have we got? Ceremony. In ceremony you conjure devotion so deeply it reflects thy worship into yourself. Ceremony isn't just about magic and manifestation. It is absolutely a moment to channel your power and send your attentions out into the spiritual world. But it's also a moment to yourself, a devotion to the things that are most important to you, to who you're working to become, or to the life you've dreamt of for so long. While there is a certain power in elaborate spiritual workings, know that magic is also available to you in the small moments of the day. You have found yourself with Stone Circle today because you have been living too fast. You're being guided to see the small magic and notice the blessing signs and energies that are swirling around you. You'll know the small magic by the way it makes you feel. You may notice it in the warm smile of a child, or the sudden fragrance of a nearby flower, or perhaps your favourite song has been playing in the background but has only now just caught your ear. Any moment that grabs hold of you can be a ceremony of mindfulness and rest. Additionally, seek ways to invite more ritual into your daily life, as doing so is an invitation to awaken to the subtle energies all around you, an opportunity to connect with your own spiritual power. Okay, so you may have been in some real toxic energy. You've been forced to sort of make those changes now, bring in the light, to make the allow that ritualistic changes in your life. And I think it's about, to create those changes, manifest those changes, can be through ritual. Really important here. So the next one was the Harvest Witch. So let's have a look here at what does the Harvest Witch say. What number is this one? This is 21. So 21, let's have a look. And I'm going to do something in a minute, which is going to be a little interesting, I see. 21. Okay, so we have here Harvest Witch. Keywords are rewards for effort, maturity, and satisfaction. So in saying that, I'm saying that, for me, like the Harvest Witch is manifesting what you want. You're bringing in what you choose to want in your life, to bring in that sense of growth and expansion, that satisfaction, that things are moving in the right direction, rewards for your efforts. Okay, your higher self chose this card because there's no guarantee a crop will yield results, or the results will be worth the effort. Sometimes. So when we're seeing that things are toxic and that, it can be quite challenging to be able to see the light out of the darkness. It can be quite hard to see that there's going to be a reward, there's going to be a benefit for you to get rid of that toxic energy. So interesting. Let's move these cards down a bit more. That's it. I've got all 4 cards in there. Okay. So this is interesting. Okay, sometimes things don't work out despite your blood, sweat and tears, and there comes a time when you have to be honest about how much longer you can invest in a dying crop. You may need to consider whether or not you've actually given all you have to give. Perhaps you've taken shortcuts. Again, that toxicity, things are being, I think this is just a reminder that what's been going on is really toxic for you. It's not good for you, and it's time to stop taking shortcuts, stop using cheap materials to save money or give a half-hearted effort. It's time to, it represents the moment when you weigh your efforts versus your rewards. Harvest Witch is here to evaluate your progress. She asks whether you're doing enough to bring your goals to life. So are you actually taking the action you actually need, or are you dwelling in this toxicity, this negativity, this sense of are you not really getting where you need to be? Are you not allowing the transformation, the changes to actually take place? Are you not manifesting what you truly want? Are you not celebrating where you want to be? Is really important here. You know, or are you approaching your dreams with a naive perspective? She reminds you that you get out of what you're willing to put in. If you've been cutting corners or procrastinating, Harvest Wish advises you to take a more grounded and practical approach. How can you be better prepared to handle your circumstances? Are you truly invested in seeing your goals come to life, or is this something that would be nice to have but nothing you're passionate about? If you've been putting in a great deal of effort with very little results, perhaps it's time to shift your tactics and try something different. You may need to find a fresh way to go about achieving your goals, or it may be time to cut your losses altogether and find a new dream to explore. When a crop is diseased or tainted, it must be in your long-term interest to destroy what's dying. So it's time to let it go. It's time to really move on from it. It's time to get out from where you are, so the rest can have you can have a fighting chance to move forward. There'll be moments when the entire crop needs to be destroyed and you'll have to start again. Be honest with yourself, listen to your heart, and move forward with a choice that will support you best in the future. Now, I know it says listen to your heart, but again, I think you need to be very careful that you are not, that with your heart as your mind, as your perspective could be clouding. So just be very aware. I think very important to be aware of what's actually going on. Why are you being forced? Are things not really going your way? Why? If things are not really going in the direction you want them to, if there's always blockages, there's challenges, why? Time to a little bit deeper, time to look at what needs to change. And I think that change comes very much from within ourselves. So this is a very, very, very interesting 4 cards to look at with the seasons of the witch, as we look at each the 4 cards. I think that's very, very interesting combination of cards here, with the Banshee, the Yule log, the Stone Circle, and the Harvest Witch from each deck respectively. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be.